A $20 cell phone is keeping these exes from hanging up on their relationship drama.
This is someone who I was supposed to be with forever, and instead I find out he's a compulsive liar, he's a cheater, possibly has STDs, put his hands on me and my child. Put his hands on me and my child.
Pump your brakes there, sweetheart.
I am sitting here in disbelief that the two of you cannot resolve an issue with a cell phone that you only had for about 2 weeks.
And later, was the computer a gift or a loan?
After 10 years, Your Honor, why would I say, no, you can't use my computer when we don't have a history of betrayal?
I asked her, can I use your computer? He said, you know what, I have a backup computer. I see you tried to make it, take it as a gift. You can have it.
You don't run anything in my courtroom. I ask the questions and she's answering it. Do you understand?
Plaintiff Crystal Oakley says after her ex-boyfriend cheated on her and they broke up, he refused to return a phone she paid for. She's suing for the cost of the phone and the unpaid bill. Defendant Vincent Johnson says the phone was a gift, but after they broke up, the plaintiff terminated the account. He's countersuing for termination fees and the cost of a new phone.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, we have Oakley versus Johnson.
Thank you, Barbara. Okay, Ms. Crystal Oakley, you are suing the defendant, Vincent Eric Johnson, for $900, the cost of a phone and a phone bill you say he owes you for?
Yes.
And Mr. Johnson, you are countersuing for $550. You say the plaintiff owes you for early termination fees, a cell phone bill, and the cost of a new phone?
Correct.
Okay, Ms. Oakley, I'll hear from you first. What's going on here?
Well, basically, he's not the person I thought he was. This is someone who I was supposed to be with forever, and instead I find out he's a compulsive liar, he's a cheater, possibly has STDs, put his hands on me and my child. Put his hands on me and my child.
Pump your brakes there, sweetheart.
So the two of you were in a dating relationship. How did you meet?
We knew each other back from high school, and then we still hung out with mutual friends. Then we wound up dating for a year and a half, moved in together. And that's when I decided to put the phone in my name because he was having some issues paying his phone bills. But then I was at his house for about 2 weeks, and then I discovered he had been seeing someone else. The whole STD thing came up. I was supposed to be the only one that knew about it.
This keeps popping up. There's a story before that. I receive a call from a cousin to go to a baseball game. My phone rings. She checks my phone. There's an inbound message from a girl that I had been dating while we weren't together, and she sees that inbound message. She didn't say nothing all day long. We get home, we're getting ready to go to bed. Here she comes, and this is where it starts. She's going left and right, and I tell her, hey, look, cut it out. It's 12 o'clock at night. I got to go to work in the morning. I don't have time for this. And she's going on and on. And I told her, hey, cut it out, or it's about to get real ugly.
No, because
real
he had
fast.
told me that he hadn't been seeing anyone else, and that
We
he
didn't
didn't
talk
tell
for 3
anybody
months.
else. I asked you during that time period, had you been seeing anyone else? So that we're back together, am I going to have any surprises with some female saying, hey, we did this and that? She knew about the STD apparently as well, and that's what started the conversation, as well as he had been in fact seeing her.
I brought
that
paper
night,
that shows I do not have an STD.
What's going on? What do you mean?
Why are we talking about an STD about the phone?
I don't know what's going on with that, but you keep bringing it up.
Well, the point is, because I brought all that, she wasn't supposed, first of all, she never existed in the beginning, as well as that's how I got started. Because I was like, how does she even know about this, health issue? That's how the conversation got started that day.
You were saying he confided in you about a health issue he was having.
Correct.
And you thought you were the
I
only
was
one
the only
that
one that knew. So one, that's how I knew he was seeing her, on top of the stuff that she said.
We're here about a phone.
Yeah, but you kicked me out that night. This is how we got to this point. That's how we got to, he kicked me out that night, me and my son.
So this is how the two of you broke up. This is the end of their relationship.
Yes.
And then that's when everything happens
Correct,
with the
the
phone.
phone, absolutely.
So at some point you say what about the phone?
So that Friday, when I'm getting my stuff together, I emailed him and I asked him, so what about the phone? He will not give it back.
You don't want responsibility for him being on your plan, right?
Correct.
You want him to pay the bills and be responsible for the phone.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you don't need the phone back to do that.
To return it, or there's two options. You can actually return it and he can just, do his own thing, or you can transfer responsibility.
Which I tried. I tried to transfer responsibility over and over and over
Hold on a
again.
second, sir. Who has the phone?
I do.
Why have you not transferred
I have offered that.
responsibility to him?
I have offered that, even on my demand letter
No,
that I
she did
sent
not.
him.
No,
Yes, I
ma'am.
did.
No, ma'am. In your complaint to the court, you wrote that he called you and said that he wanted the phone and the
Absolutely.
responsibility to the phone to be transferred. In your complaint to the court, you said you didn't feel comfortable doing that.
Coming up, is their relationship really over or just on hold?
She froze the account. She reported the phone stolen, so I can't do anything with that phone. It's just a paperweight.
This is not about the phone. This is about the drama and a way for you to remain in contact. This is the only, yes it is, because there's no way, if you didn't want to be in contact with him, you wouldn't be in contact with him at all.
And later, they were best friends until she tried to take what wasn't hers.
She's asking, can she borrow my car? That's a big no. You ask, can you borrow my wigs? Are you serious? Not on my watch. I got a clock, I got a watch, but I ain't got the time. Not for a woman like her.
Did you let her borrow your car?
No car, no wigs, no man. That's 3 things I don't do.
Plaintiff Crystal Oakley says after her ex-boyfriend cheated on her and they broke up, he refused to return a phone she paid for. She's suing for the cost of the phone and the unpaid bill. Defendant Vincent Johnson says the phone was a gift, and after they broke up, the plaintiff terminated the account. He's countersuing for termination fees and the cost of a new phone.
Within 14 days, you could have transferred responsibility of the phone.
Absolutely.
It takes one call. I've looked at a series of events that have happened since the two of you broke up about this phone, where you've called him, you've went to see him, you guys had another physical altercation all over this phone. It takes one call to T-Mobile to transfer responsibility to his name. So why are you here today? Is it that it's not about the phone, and this is just a way for you to keep in contact,
absolutely
keep
not.
baiting
No,
him?
when
This
I
is an
went
issue?
back-
Because why have you not transferred responsibility of the phone to him? You paid $20 for the phone. Who cares about the phone? What's your counterclaim about?
I'm a director of sales. I have 500 contacts. I have 2 kids. I can't get in touch with my people, so I have to go out and buy a whole new phone that cost me $100.
You're suing her over that first phone?
Yes, she turned it in.
Okay.
And gave me a new S5. It was upgraded. So since she turned it in and we had the altercation Saturday, she called T-Mobile, she froze the account, she reported the phone stolen. So I can't do anything with the phone. I go to T-Mobile, say, hey, I have a phone. All you have to do is just hook it up. Sir, it'll be $300 to even turn it on. And then I come to find out she's reported it stolen, locked the number, and froze the account. So I can't do anything with that phone. It's just a paperweight.
Why did you report the phone stolen?
Sprint, well, that's just how they do it on the in T-Mobile.
No.
In T-Mobile, if you'll see the sheet that I have, in T-Mobile, that's how it's just listed there.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, ma'am, you're 35 years old, you're 37 years old, both of you have children.
Yes, ma'am.
I am sitting here in disbelief that the two of you cannot resolve an issue with a cell phone that you only had for about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Well, right.
And we have
But
gotten to
now,
this point now where you
also-
can't even resolve an issue with a cell phone. First, the fact that you have gone on and called the police and gotten all these people
He pushed me
involved
down.
and
He
tried to
pushed
have
me.
repeated
He put his
contact with
hands
him.
on
Let
me
me
as
finish.
well.
Let me finish to get a $20 phone back.
It's
Ma'am,
not
let it go.
$20, ma'am.
It's $20. It's a
It's
phone.
$700.
Let
I
it
still
go.
have to pay for it every
No,
single
it's not.
month.
No,
Yes,
it's
it
not.
is.
No, it's not.
I'm still
I have an iPhone. I've had a cell phone for 10 years. I know exactly how the plans work. It takes one phone call to T-Mobile
I
to
understand
transfer.
that, but I still have to
Excuse
pay
me.
for it every
Let me
month.
finish speaking. This is not about the phone. This is about the drama and a way for you to remain in contact. This is the only. Yes, it is, because there is no way. If you didn't want to be in contact with him, you wouldn't be in contact with him at all. Okay, this is not how you handle issues that come up in relationships, and you should know better because you have kids that you are raising, and when there are issues and there are conflict, you find a way to resolve it. You don't let it get to this point over a $20 cell phone. Your counterclaim, I'm not holding her responsible. Listen, the two of you want to live together, share a house together, share a bed, share the bills, share the phones, whatever. But don't bring all of this to me to try to then sort out. You know, if you have a problem, if you want your life to be fixed, call Ayanla Van Zant. Don't come to my courtroom to fix it because this is not a legal issue. This is a personal issue. Now, you know what to do with the phone. Cut it off, get it transferred to him. You get the phone in your name. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Your case is dismissed as well, ma'am.
Plaintiff Frida Jackson is suing her former friend for the cost of a borrowed computer. She is accompanied by her mother, Rose Jackson. But defendant Natasha Cadet says she doesn't know anything, and the plaintiff gave her the computer as a gift.
Ms. Jackson, you are suing the defendant, Natasha Cadet, for $1,000, the value of a computer you say you loaned to her and she refused to return to you, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
tell me about that. How do you know the defendant, first of all?
I know the defendant. I met her. She was homeless, and she came to me looking for a place to stay. I told her she couldn't stay with me, so I talked to the apartment owner who had pulled strings to help her get an apartment, so she got an apartment next door to me,
That is
which
all a
helped
true
her
statement,
out.
Your Honor.
And when did you
Don't
meet the
interrupt me
defendant?
when I'm talking. Mind your manners.
Ms. Jackson,
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to ask you to mind your manners in my courtroom. Don't speak to another litigant. That's my job. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. When did you meet the defendant?
I met the defendant about 11 years ago.
Okay, and when you met her, you say she was homeless?
Yes.
Ma'am,
So I
that's
helped her
untrue.
get an
What happened?
apartment
That's untrue.
in the apartment.
I met her exactly right after I got out of the Navy. I served from 1994 to 2004. I am a U.S. veteran in the Navy. So I served for 10 years.
That doesn't have anything to do with the case.
Hold on a second. I
would
want to
like
hear what
my
she has to
computer.
say. Go ahead, Ms. Cadet.
Okay. Yes. So as soon as I got out, I was very new into the civilian world. So I was staying in a place and I was looking for
This
apartment.
doesn't have anything
Ms.
to do with
Jackson,
the case.
Ms. Jackson,
My
stop
computer-
interrupting. I asked her a question and she's answering it. You don't run anything in my courtroom. I ask the questions and she's answering it. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
At some point, you decide to lend, and I know you say it was a gift, but at some point you give the defendant a computer.
She asked,
well.
can she borrow my computer because her computer at home was broken.
When was that?
That was, I'd say, beginning of February. I've known her for over 10 years, so I didn't have a problem lending her the computer. She's asked, can she borrow my car? That's a big no. You ask, can you borrow my wigs? Are you serious? Not on my watch. I got a clock, I got a watch, but I ain't got the time, not for a woman like her.
I hear
So
you.
after 10 years, Your Honor, why would I say, no, you can't use my computer when we don't have a history of betrayal?
Did you let her borrow your car before?
No, that's a no. No car, no wigs, no man. That's 3 things I don't do. So then she says, I didn't have a problem saying, no, you can't use my computer because she seems to me, she's always been business-minded, and I like that. I'm also business-minded. She said she wanted to borrow a computer for 1 week. 1 week passed, 2 weeks passed, 3 weeks. Here it is 6 months later, no text, no phone calls, no nothing. She's been avoiding me.
When did you first reach out to her and say, hey, what's going on? Where's my computer?
The second week after she had the computer.
What
and
happened?
then that point on.
Did you reach her?
No, she ignored the phone calls. I spoke to her on one occasion when she said I can come pick it up. I said I
So
I
you
would like
go
my
to pick up the
computer.
computer, and on your way, what happens?
I go pick up the computer. She's not home. Elderly man comes in, answer the door, and I left a message with him. I've showed up different
I read the same
occasions.
living.
My mother has been with me, and she would not return any of the phone calls. So I pushed star 67 to see if she answered the phone call, and she did. And I said, "This is
Star
Natasha, I need
67
my-"
is when you block the
That's
number
the
and you
private.
call.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay, people
So
still
then
do
she
that.
didn't answer the phone call. So I said, "Mother, can you call Natasha?" My mother called Natasha. Natasha answered the phone. She didn't recognize her number.
You thought she
This
was
is my
avoiding you.
career. Yeah, this is my career. I go to school for hospital administration. So you're taking my education. I'm handicapped because I cannot use my computer. She has it.
I can't go a week without my laptop. There's just no way. I have
Right.
everything on there, and you're saying you work and you go to school and all these other things. Why would you lend your computer to someone for a week?
I loaned it to her for 1 week because the school that I'm in, you have to do 1 chapter a week. So my chapter's done. I'm fine with the week. But after that,
What did you use in the meantime? Did you have anything that you
I didn't
used?
have to do-
Have
yeah,
you
that
have you
week was-
gotten another computer since you loaned
She had
her
a laptop.
that one?
No,
She had a
no.
laptop.
I have a.
Okay.
Next on Judge Faith.
In a short period of time, things were going well. I lost the foot shot because the fire came, a deep fat fire.
So a deep fat fryer caught on fire.
Caught on fire.
Plaintiff Frida Jackson is suing her former friend for the cost of a borrowed computer. Joining her in court is her mother, Rose Jackson. Defendant Natasha Cadet says she doesn't know anything, and the plaintiff gave her the computer as a gift.
Tell me about the conversation you had with her when you say she gave you the computer. I want to know the exact conversation.
Excellent, excellent. It was a gift, ma'am. It was totally a gift. The relationship I've had with with Frida, that I've known that I've had with Frida, is that I would do anything for Frida anytime she called me in the middle of the night. She had any problem, I will always be there for her. Ooh, I was like a beacon of light into her life. It's a source of encouragement. She had men problem, she would come to my house, she'll spend the night, she'll bring her daughter. She usually she doesn't cook very well. I was getting that business together.
Miss Jackson,
I had just encountered a food truck. What happened? I was taking my business from a different level, okay? So I had a food truck, leasing it, very exciting, very going.
How much were you leasing the food truck for?
The deal was $1,000 a month to pay on a monthly.
So you started your own business?
Yes, exactly. I had a partner that come in and help me. The way the partnership worked out is that he provided the food truck, okay, for me to lease, and then he would get some of the profits of the business.
So why can you afford to buy a computer on your own?
I started this business, I didn't have much fun to get it going. I did have a backup computer. I had a computer, a small laptop that I was using. In a short period of time, things were going well. I lost the food truck because the fire came, a deep fat fire.
So a deep fat fryer caught on fire?
Caught on fire, okay. Exactly. Inside of the food truck.
Honor.
Because the food truck is actually a kitchen on wheels.
Tell me about the conversation. I understand you lost the food truck.
I lost the food truck.
You were down
and
on
my
your luck.
laptop was inside of the food truck.
Okay, so your laptop was in the food truck. So tell me about the conversation you had with the plaintiff about her computer.
Yes, I asked her, can I use your computer? He said, you know what, I have a backup computer. I see you try to make it. Take it as a gift. You can have it, okay?
Did you know that this was a computer that she used for school and for work?
No, she did not use that computer for school, ma'am, because she has her own laptop. That computer was sitting in her house. She said, I'm not using it anyway.
Has she ever given you anything before?
Prior
to this computer?
But I have given her stuff before. I have given her barbecue grilled. As a matter of fact, I had a big flat screen TV that cost over $1,400.
So let me ask you, why do you think she's saying that the computer was a loan? Did she ever call you and say, I'd like my computer back, and you said, okay, come and pick it up? Did that happen?
No.
So that conversation never happened?
No. I had a few calls from Frida. However, I did not take the call. I did not have enough minutes into my phone. I did not have any money because when this happened with the fire, I lost my business. My landlord wanted to evict me, and my van that I usually drive to go, the transmission broke down. Okay, so I was in a state emotionally that I really was not returning any call because I was trying to survive.
Are you the plaintiff's mother?
Your Honor, can I?
Ms. Jackson, do you want to say something?
Please.
Stand up and walk.
Thank you.
And approach the lectern. What do you have to say about this case?
Latasha is total drama queen, period. She lies a lot.
No, you are supporting your
Miss
daughter.
Cadet,
in not telling the
please
truth.
do not interrupt.
Very well, ma'am.
Go ahead, Ms. Jackson.
That one there, she is a mess.
Your
Big
daughter is a
time
mess.
drama queen.
No.
Miss Cadet.
I'm so sorry. That's not a true
Please
statement
don't
at all.
interrupt.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
She told me that a millionaire bought her a truck, a roach coach,
What is a roach coach?
a food truck.
Did somebody buy you the food truck?
It was a partnership. He didn't purchase for me.
From your millionaire friend?
Yes, this person that does that, yes, he is a millionaire. Yes, he is. Okay. I mean, there are people that are millionaires.
Ms.
That doesn't
Jackson,
mean...
did you ever witness any of the times that your daughter tried to get the laptop back from the defendant?
Yes, I did.
Okay. When did you get the computer, Ms. Jackson? Your daughter?
I got the computer 2013.
What kind of computer is it?
It is a Dell.
Do you have another computer that you're using now?
Yes.
You can have a seat, Ms. Jackson. Thank you. Value of a 2013 Dell desktop computer is around $350. Judgment for the plaintiff in this case for $350. Pay over the value of the computer.
The clues in this case are clear.
He mentions later afterwards in email that he hadn't thought things through clearly before.
I felt uncomfortable with the legality of the sale and that I would have to be buying a vehicle that wasn't rightfully mine.
There's no dispute. He's the person you entered into the
Sure.
contract with. This isn't a whodunit.
And later, neither a borrower nor a lender be.
She kept giving me the different excuses that I believe because we're good friends.
If you're friends with someone, you know what? Then invite them over, have dinner, go to the movies together. But you don't pay their bills. Then you're just being a fool.
Plaintiff Michael Lewis says he sold his RV as is, and now the defendant has buyer's regret. He's suing for the unpaid balance of his RV. Defendant Nicholas Lamb claims the plaintiff is shady and sold him the RV under false pretenses. He's countersuing for his deposit.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Lewis versus Lamb.
Thank you, Barbara. Okay, Michael Lewis.
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Nicholas Lamb, for $4,566. The remaining balance of an RV you say you sold to him that he didn't pay and other related fees. And Mr. Lamb, you are countersuing for $3,500, the amount you paid for the deposit for the RV you were purchasing from the plaintiff?
That's correct.
Okay, and you guys entered into a written contract, right?
Yes.
May I see a copy of that?
Yes. Mr. Lamb provided this contract himself.
Okay, so you drafted this document.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so you entered into this contract, and tell me about the terms of the agreement.
The terms of the agreement are pretty clear. It describes the vehicle very clearly. There's no question about that. It describes the terms of payment, and it also describes that the vehicle is sold as is. Seller makes no warranties about the condition of the vehicle.
Okay, so the contract, the terms of the contract, there would be an initial deposit of $1,000 upon signing of the agreement, and then the remaining $5,000 would be paid upon receipt and transfer of the title, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so while you were waiting for the title, he paid another $2,500. So he paid $1,000, another $2,500. The total purchase price you have listed on the contract was $6,000, and he actually took the RV, right?
Yes, he took possession of the RV, and he took both copies of the keys at this
Okay,
point.
he's paid you $3,500, and he has possession of the RV. Now you're just waiting for the other $2,500 once you get the title in your hands.
Right.
Did you get the title?
I did get the title.
Okay, why aren't you paying him the remainder $2,500?
When I took the vehicle home, I noticed some extra things that were different about the vehicle than we'd originally discussed, like the back lights didn't work and the dashboard lights didn't work and things like that. And this.
But your contract said the vehicle is sold as is.
So this is just an avenue towards a different, towards a little bit more. So because of this, I said like, hey, this is the thing. And he's like, it's probably just a fuse. You need to pay me the rest of the money. It was kind of the way the dialogue started going. Previously, the dialogue had been really, warm and comfortable, and so I got really uncomfortable with the way that things started going. And so I researched the legality of the contract itself. There was a bunch of things that were wrong that sort of got me worried about the
You
sale
already
in general.
signed the contract, sir. You drafted this contract yourself.
But I looked at this contract. No, conditions like the name on the contract is Michael Gaia, which is not Michael Lewis's legal name. He's
and
he's
the person. There's no dispute. He's the person you entered into the
Sure.
contract with. This isn't a whodunit.
Yeah.
You entered into a contract with him.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough. And the plaintiff is not the titled owner of the vehicle.
And you knew that because it says in the contract, once he gets the title,
Right.
the title will be transferred to you, and you'd pay $2,500.
Right.
Next.
But it's not owned by him, right?
He's getting the title. That's a contingency agreement. Once he gets the title, he's going to transfer it to you. That's what you agreed to.
Yeah. There's no bill of sale between the original owner and him, and all
There
these
was a
things
bill. There is a
that
bill
the
of
DMV
sale.
required.
There is a bill of sale.
What is the reason, because you haven't given me one yet, the legitimate reason as to why you aren't paying him the remainder $2,500?
I felt uncomfortable with the legality of the sale and that I would have to be buying a vehicle that wasn't rightfully mine.
So I'm sorry if it made you uncomfortable in the end, but it's you drafted the contract and you signed it, and it is as is. I mean, is that what basically this boiled down to? There were problems with the RV, and he expressed those problems to you?
Well, he did express those problems. I mean, my sense, actually, was that Mr. Lamb was concerned about other things that he wasn't mentioning. Like, I know that parking the RV in San Francisco was probably an issue for him that he hadn't thought about ahead of time. He mentions later, afterwards, in an email, that he hadn't thought things through clearly before, and that he had made mistakes. He says this in emails.
Okay, well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of those things. It's too
if
bad
I sign
for
a
you.
contract that's not legal, then
This is I'm telling you, sir.
right.
Do you want to debate the law with me?
No.
Okay, because I'm telling you, this is a legal and enforceable contract
Right.
that you drafted and that the both of you entered into. And it says the vehicle is sold as is.
Coming up, his panic put him in the poorhouse.
He then sent me a FedEx package with the keys to the vehicle in it and instructions on how to get the vehicle.
So I talked to the San Francisco Police Department. I got legal counsel. And
I don't know who you were talking to. They were giving you wrong information.
And later, the divide gets deeper between these two former BFFs.
That's a lie. That's
Really,
a lie.
Rayvon? Are
She
you
said
serious?
Her parents wouldn't take her in. Her sister put her out.
This what we do?
Like, let's be honest.
So we
Let's
okay.
be here.
Oh,
Let's
so
be
we throwing
honest.
shade.
I don't have
Miss
time for
Rippey,
this.
Miss Rippey, ladies, we're not going to get anywhere if you guys keep talking to each other like this.
Plaintiff Michael Lewis says he sold his RV as is, and now the defendant has buyer's regret. He's suing for the unpaid balance of his RV. Defendant Nicholas Lamb claims the plaintiff sold him the RV under false pretenses. He's countersuing for his deposit.
If you're buying a vehicle as is, that means buyer beware. You take it or you leave it. If there's an issue with it, did you take it to a mechanic before you signed the contract and gave him $3,500? Well, that's on you.
But my concern is that it's not a legal sale through the DMV.
And I'm telling you, it is a legal sale.
Okay.
He has the title. All it takes to buy a used car, a valid title, he transfers ownership to you, you pay him the money. There we go.
Even if the title's from someone else that's not him?
Sir, he got a valid title. Were you able to get the title to the vehicle?
Yes, I have it right here.
There's no issue with the title. Who has the RV now?
I have the RV.
How did you get the RV back?
After this breach of contract emerged, and I realized that Mr. Lamb was going back on his intent to follow through with the purchase of the vehicle, and after I had made several attempts in email to try to come to some terms of agreement, he seemed to be completely unwilling. And so then I got legal counsel, and I had a letter sent to Mr. Lamb notifying him that I still needed the full payment, and that if he didn't provide that, I would take further action. I think sometime around the time he received that letter, he then sent me a FedEx package with the keys to the vehicle in it and instructions on how to get the vehicle.
What do you mean by instructions?
Well, there was a picture of the vehicle of its location in San Francisco, which is an hour away from where I live. He wrote a letter declaring that he had no responsibility for the vehicle whatsoever. He was giving me the keys back and telling me that it was in a 72-hour limited parking zone and that I needed to come pick it up. Basically suggesting that.
So you just wanted to send him on a scavenger hunt to get the RV?
No, I talked to the San Francisco Police Department and got legal counsel.
I don't know who you were talking to. They were giving you wrong information. You have a contract that you have entered into contingent upon the seller getting the title of the RV. Once he gets the title of the RV, the terms are set. This is very clear. This is one of the clearest contracts I've had in my court in a long time. And so for you to force him to take the RV back when he's not willing to go back, you're having buyer's remorse for whatever reason, not having a grown-up man-to-man conversation with him, but FedExing him the keys and parking the RV in a random location and just saying, I'm washing my hands of this, I want my money back.
This is what I was
That's
legally
not how
told
it works.
to do. It wasn't the vehicle wasn't mine.
Let's see the picture. What picture did he send you?
That's the picture he sent me, yeah.
So it's just parked on a random street?
Yep.
Okay, and your countersuit is about what?
Is my deposit that I paid?
The $3,500 that you paid? Okay, you breached the contract. You don't get that back. You breached the contract, and it's unfortunate because you gave the RV back. You have the RV back, right?
I have the RV.
Okay, and you have $3,500 that he paid you that you get to keep because you breached the contract. Right. That's your loss.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want from me?
I would like the additional $2,500 that he agreed to pay on that terms of the contract, and additional fees and costs for damages and legal items.
Okay, if he does that, if you want him to pay you $2,500 more, then you have to give the RV back to him. You have $3,500 as a result of this contract of sale that you get to keep, and you have an RV. You were selling it for $6,000, right? So now you get to sell that RV for another $6,000. You keep his $3,500.
Okay.
You're on top. Like, you come out on top in this situation because he breached the contract.
However,
I'm not awarding you an additional $2,500 for the cost of the RV when you have it back, sir.
However, Your Honor, I had this idea too. When I received the RV back, I listed it on Craigslist again, selling it for the original price. The breach of this contract happened 18 days after the original signing of the contract, which was at the beginning of the summer. The season for purchasing RVs had changed, and I've had no one interested in buying it for that original price.
But sir,
it's a seasonal thing.
You have $3,500 as a result of his breach, and you also have the RV. Sell it again for $6,000. You make $9,500 instead of $6,000. Case is dismissed.
Plaintiff Rayvon Morris says she never expected her ex-best friend would take advantage of her kindness. She is suing for past due rent and costs of a vacation. Defendant Jamila Rippey says she paid back most of the money, and the plaintiff is being impatient.
Okay, Rayvon Morris?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant Jamila Rippey for $1,782, 8 months in past due rent, and the cost for a vacation you say she promised to pay you back for, and she failed to do so?
That's correct.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Well, Your Honor, I met the defendant back in 2009 in college. We became good friends.
What college?
Western University up north from Kalamazoo. We became good friends. Then in mid-February, the defendant came to me. She was down on her luck. She was telling me her sister put her out.
Mid-February of what year?
2013. And she moved in with another friend. They threatened to put her out. She kept coming to me again and again with sad stories. So as a friend, I thought we was good friends. So I told her, I offered her a place to stay. And I told her the stipulations would be that she pays me $150 every month. And I have to pay bills and show the sheet.
Okay, and did you put that agreement in writing?
No.
How long did the defendant live with you?
8 months.
I did not come to her and ask her to stay with her.
Yes, you did.
No, you asked
You came to
me.
me. Why would I ask you to come?
Coming up, Judge Faith calls their contract into question.
You neglected to put that she owed you over $1,200 in rent? That's what you want me to believe?
Plaintiff Rayvon Morris says she never expected her ex-best friend would take advantage of her kindness. She is suing for past due rent and costs of a vacation. Defendant Jamila Rippey says she paid back most of the money, and the plaintiff is being impatient.
What do you have to say about that, ma'am?
She's lying.
I'm sorry?
She's lying.
Okay.
She's lying.
How?
I mean, okay, well, we didn't meet in college. We met at Western in 2009, and we were good friends. And I did not come to her and ask her to stay with her.
Yes, you did.
No, you asked
You came to me. Why would I ask you to come to me and
really?
be a burden on me?
Okay, really?
Are you
This how you
serious?
act? Are you serious?
Relevant?
Relevant? For real?
Miss Rippey,
Anyway.
so tell me what happened. You did move in with the plaintiff, right?
This is what happened. I got kicked out of a friend of mine. I was staying with her, and I was telling Rayvon, like, I don't know
Why
what
did you
I'm
get
going to
kicked
do.
out?
It was a situation. It was another person staying there. We wasn't a part of the lease agreement, so we both
Okay.
had to leave.
Got it.
I told her, well, this is a situation. I don't know if I'm going to have to go back up north to my parents' house or what's going on. She was all like,
That's
well,
a lie.
you can come stay with me.
That's
Really,
a lie.
Rayvon? Are
She
you
said
serious?
Her parents wouldn't take her in. Her sister put her out.
This what we do?
Like, let's be honest.
So we,
Let's
okay.
be here.
Oh,
Let's
so
be
we throwing
honest.
shade?
Let's
We throwing
be
shade?
honest.
This how you act? Are you acting fake?
So how long did the defendant live with you? How many months?
She stayed with me 8 months.
Did she ever pay you $150 in rent?
Yes, the very first month. She had the money because she was working at Taco Bell, and I helped the defendant also get another job at a group home.
So the first
She was
month you say
working
she paid
2
you
jobs.
rent?
She's lying.
Yes.
Okay,
lying.
so
She's a
why are you
liar.
suing for 8 months rent if you say
Because
she
she
paid
ended
you
up
rent?
staying over a couple months until
It wasn't 8 months.
it was like October when you left.
Ma'am,
It
I'm
was
asking,
October.
I'm
How
asking
was
you a
it
question.
October
Excuse
when
me,
I
ma'am.
left?
My question to you is, how long she lived with you? You told me 8 months.
Well, I'm counting without the first month rent.
Total time frame, how many months did the defendant live
9.
with you? Okay, the first time I asked you, you told me 8. So now you say she lived with you 9 months.
Yeah, which one
Right.
is it, Rayvon? Which one is it?
Of
8 or 9?
all,
Hush
did
your
she
mouth.
pay
You
you
hush your
rent?
mouth.
We're talking.
Tell the story. Stop lying.
We're
Excuse
talking.
me, ladies, we're not gonna get anywhere if you guys keep talking to each other like this. You said she paid you $150 the first month.
Correct. That's the initial fee for her to move in because she couldn't move in without it.
Okay, what about the second month?
Then the second month she did not pay because she was saying that her job excuses after excuses. She kept saying her job cut her hours, went down to 2 days a
And
week.
so you're saying there was no
working 2 days a
agreement that she not pay rent but only pay for household
No, it's no agreement.
necessities and food.
No.
So let's
In
go to the
October.
second part of the lawsuit, which is you're suing her for $582 for a vacation you said she didn't pay for.
Correct.
Tell me about that.
Okay,
Yeah,
the
let's talk about that.
582 was for the 150 for the rent, and then the 302, I paid her plane fare to get to the cruise because she couldn't afford it. So
Wait,
she
this
came-
$582 includes $150 in rent?
rent, and then I took her to work a couple times, so that also include me gas money. Then the plane ticket, which is the
What?
302.
Gas money. I stay right up the street from my job. I walk.
Okay,
You
so the
didn't
total
walk to
you're
work.
suing
You
for
had-
the...
we took
Excuse
you
me,
to work
ladies.
a lot of times, every time.
So the total you're suing for the vacation is $302, correct?
Right, for the, yes.
Okay, why would you buy a $300 plane ticket for someone who hasn't paid you rent in 8 months?
Because we're good friends, and she kept giving me the different excuses that I believe because we're good friends.
If you're
So-
friends with someone, you know what? Then invite them over, have dinner, go to the movies together, but you don't pay their bills.
That's understandable.
Okay,
but,
then you're just being a fool.
yeah.
Did the two of you ever enter into a written agreement?
Yes, we did, Your
About the
Honor.
money that was owed?
Yes.
Okay.
I have it,
Do
Your
either of
Honor.
you have a copy?
Yes, I do.
I have a copy
May I
of
see it,
as
please?
well.
Okay. I just
But
need one.
I'm going to let you know right now. Well, you can have her copy because my copy's damaged.
Okay, this is not
I
the
have
original.
it.
Do you have the original?
No, mine is also, she wrote it on a piece of paper and then she copied it.
Let me see what you have.
Well, like I said
Because I see
before,
numbers.
like I
that
said
are-
before, it's damaged. Like, I don't know if you knew, but Michigan got flooded and my basement got flooded, so all my information is kind of messed up, but it's in there. And also, the receipt that I gave her, $400 of the money, is in there too. So how are you still suing me when I gave you $400?
What is that?
Okay. How are you suing me? That's it. That's all I have. My house was flooded. Hey, it's better than nothing. That's all I have.
Okay, hold on. I almost
You see
have
how
it
the
here.
number says 582 on the bottom?
I just want to make sure I'm looking at the same document for both of you. Okay. At least you were able to salvage this. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it was
that's the
like
good part
literally
of
my
it.
basement got flooded.
Okay, and then this is what?
That's the receipt from the $400 that I gave her for the initial 582. So how do I still owe you money when I gave you $400?
Okay, and so this agreement says, and you do acknowledge receiving $400?
Yes.
You will pay Rayvon all of her money I owe her with my next 2 checks in the fall. That includes the trip and the bills and the total cost together, which includes back rent.
Correct.
And the total cost here is $582.
Did he try to seduce a senior? Or did this cub get caught by a cougar?
Hey, you ever see the dog?
Yes, ma'am.
He's a low-down, dirty dog right there.
She sure flirted with me. She was trying to take me out of town to
Wait
Miami.
a minute, let's keep an understanding. You think that he was flirting with you and
He saw a pretty woman.
don't mess with Miss Walker, okay? Do not mess with Miss Walker.
And later,
I look at her and she's all like, oh, she gets out of her car. I'm sorry. My flip-flop got caught on the gas pedal. She's got on socks and flip-flop, and I'm going, okay, yeah, no wonder, okay.
Socks and flip-flops?
Yeah.
Is that a fashion statement in Michigan?
plaintiff Liddell Walker says she paid landscaper Isaac Williams to return her lawn to its former glory. But instead, he took all the money and left her yard unfinished. The defendant says he completed the job and that she's being unreasonable.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this is Walker versus Williams.
Thank you, Barbara. Ms. Walker, you're suing the defendant for $475 for an incomplete landscaping job. Mr. Williams, you claim you completed the job, so you owe the plaintiff nothing. Ms. Walker, we'll start with you. How do you know the defendant?
About this low-down, dirty dog. He was supposed to do my lawn. I gave him $475. I was not pleased. He did not trim the hedges.
Hold on a second,
He
sir.
did not manicure my lawn. He didn't edge it up. You know, I wanted a beautiful lawn.
How did you meet the defendant?
I met this low-down, dirty dog at Home Depot.
Why are you calling him a low-down, dirty dog, ma'am?
Judge, you ever see the dog?
Yes, ma'am.
He's a low-down, dirty dog right there.
What happened when you met him at Home Depot?
Well, you know, I'm gonna buy me a new lawnmower, and I'll get my grandson to cut my lawn. So I'm there at Home Depot looking at the lawnmowers. I don't know too much about them. I'm just looking. This low-down, dirty dog walked in. He saw a pretty woman. I asked him, do you know anything about lawns? Come on over here. He like, that one is good. But now he got his pitch that I do lawns. I thought, well, maybe I get him to do my lawn, manicure my lawn for the first time, then my grandson could just cut it.
Okay, so is that what happened?
Yeah, I said, okay. I walked out of Home Depot. I told him where I live. I come on, get in my car. Oh, my God. Here this lady with this big old Mercedes truck she must have some money. When I got to my house, you know, something hit me in the stomach. This is not right. There's something wrong with this.
Wait, when you got to your house, he was there?
Yes, ma'am.
What were you doing at her house?
He was there.
She gave me her address, and it took her about 2 hours, it seemed like, to get there.
You know, I come right home.
Wait, so you guys agreed to meet at your house that day?
I told you.
You told me to come. No, you told me to come. You told me you live the second house and to come over and take a look at your yard.
I know where that house is.
Yeah, after you told me where you lived at.
But I wasn't looking for you to be there before I get there.
Okay, so let's get an understanding. Let's keep an understanding. You think that he was flirting with you and he thought that...
No, he ain't flirting with me.
Okay.
No.
Well, she sure flirted with me. She was trying to take me out of town to Miami.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by that?
Coming up, did he make a play for her pocketbook?
That's a lie. You're too old to be lying.
He had the contract already written out.
Or did she make a play for the player?
She told me she'd rent whatever kind of car I wanted, or we could drive her Benz. We could get separate hotel rooms.
So y'all were talking about more than just landscaping.
And later, Judge Faith must decide who is telling the truth and who's telling a tall tale.
At the time of the accident, who was in your car?
My dog, my son, and my husband was a passenger.
That's nowhere near true. It's called perjury.
Here, this is what you said in your statement. The reason why you say you felt uncomfortable staying there, waiting any longer, is because you were there with your child.
Can I tell you
that to me infers that your husband was not with you.
Plaintiff Liddell Walker says she paid landscaper Isaac Williams to return her lawn to its former glory, but instead, he took all the money and left her yard unfinished. The defendant says he completed the job and that Ms. Dell is being unreasonable.
We're going to get to the lawn in a second, but what do you mean by that?
You know,
she tried to get me. She told me she had
Hold on a second,
She told me she had paid for a trip to go to Miami 2 years ago, and she ain't wanted to expire, and she needed a vacation, and she was gonna give me money to. She was gonna rent a car, or we could drive her Benz. And then she would give me money for my pocket. We can get separate hotel rooms.
So y'all were talking about more than just landscaping that day.
She was.
This is another case.
Miss Walker, did you have a free trip to Florida? Miss Walker, did you have a trip to Florida that you had planned?
I've been having this trip for 5 years. I said, you know,
and
I
you wanted me to take you down there.
You said you wanted to go.
When you asked me, she was like, we could drive down, we could sightsee. She was like, we could take a road trip.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
And I said the reason why I haven't went because I needed somebody to go with me. Right. And he said, oh, I go.
No. You asked me.
Hold on 1 second, Mr. Williams.
Will you shut up?
When you start telling the truth, I will.
Please, don't disrespect her like that.
But I'm not. She lying, though, Judge.
No, that's for me to decide. Okay, let's get back to the landscaping.
And then after I mentioned it, he said, well.
Miss Walker, let me ask you a question about the landscaping, okay?
That's what we sent here for. I don't know where this come up.
You filed this lawsuit because you end up hiring the defendant.
He had the contract already written out.
Okay, let me take a look at that. You have it with you?
Yes, I do. He had it all written out, and I'm saying all of this is weird.
But you did sign this agreement. You did sign this agreement.
I only have the contract to do my lawn all summer long.
You paid him $475 to basically clean your lawn and do your yard. And that was a one-time payment, correct?
Yeah, he got down there the stuff that he's supposed to do, trim my hedges, manicure my lawn. You know,
now, he did most of this work, but he didn't finish it. That's what you're claiming?
He didn't
what did he not complete?
My lawn. He just cleaned the lawn up. I have hedges. You might see the hedges. I have hedges on one side of my front yard.
Hedges? Okay, why don't we look at those on the flat screen?
They not cut.
Okay, Barbara, would you have me that photo, please?
They not cut.
The hedges?
And he's supposed to trim my hedges.
Okay.
And that
let's look at those on the flat screen.
Let's look at this photo. You know, leaves get in between your hedges.
So this is how the hedges were after he finished landscaping your yard? Are those the hedges?
He's supposed to trim them, make them look good.
Well, those are, so why didn't you trim those hedges?
Because they're not on our property. That's the neighbor right at the corner.
It's not my property.
Okay, Mr. Williams.
Yes.
I read your answer in this case. You submitted an answer, and in your answer, you said you called her to come back and trim the hedges. Now, today in court, you're telling me they weren't on her property. Nevertheless, she paid you to trim those hedges. Why didn't you do it?
Because those aren't the hedges that I was supposed to trim.
Okay, that's not what you said in your answer.
The hedges that supposed to be trimmed were the ones up front.
Did you trim those hedges?
No, because I didn't have trimmers.
Okay, why didn't you trim those hedges?
Because the same day that I did it, I let Miss Walker knew that Home Depot had my hedge trimmers and that as soon as they got out, that I would trim her hedges.
Okay, so eventually you got your trimmers. Did you go back to trim the hedges?
2 weeks ago.
He just got
Okay.
them.
And
2 weeks ago.
Have you been back to trim the hedges?
No, I wasn't going back over there after when she put me through and she was suing me.
What he did, I called him calling. I did. I really over-calling him. He probably didn't like it. I wouldn't have liked it.
Ms. Walker, I looked at the contract that you have, and you actually admit that you never went back to finish the hedges because you didn't have your clippers, but that was a part of the original agreement. And you paid him the full $400.
Here is the receipt.
Okay, thank you.
Oh.
You paid him the full $475. I actually already saw this in evidence. See, don't mess with Ms. Walker, okay? Do not mess with Ms. Walker. I know you have many years of wisdom, but just from my perspective on the bench, seeing these types of cases, it's best that you don't pay someone full price up front before the work is done. Even if you want to give them a partial payment to start, you wait until the work is completed and you're satisfied and then pay the remaining balance.
You know the reason
because the
why
defendant, let me finish, Ms. Walker, because the defendant actually admits that he did not come back and trim the hedges. He admits that he did not complete the job that you paid him for. So I am going to order him to pay you back some of the $475. And you can hire someone else to come in and do the hedges and fix the things. So Ms. Walker, I'm ordering him to pay you $100. You can have someone else continue to maintain your lawn, fix your hedges, whatever you want to do, but I'm ordering you to pay her $100 because you did not complete the job. Verdict for the plaintiff, $100.
Plaintiff Ardell Hayes says he was stopped at a red light when the defendant slammed into his car. He is suing for damages to his vehicle. But the defendant, Amber Robinson, claims the plaintiff refused to wait for a police report and now is overcharging her for the damage to his vehicle. Joining her in court is her husband, Michael Robinson.
Okay, Mr. Ardell Hayes, you are suing the defendant, Amber Robinson, for $2,200 for damages to your car as a result of a car accident?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you tell me what happened?
Come to a red light, I'm sitting there, bam, get hit in the back. Kind of threw me, because I really didn't know what was going on. I've never been in an accident, so I'm sitting there dazed, like, whoa, what the heck? Oh my God, I just got hit. So I put my car in park, I get out, and I look at her, and she's all like, oh, she gets out of her car, I'm sorry, I couldn't stop. You know, my flip-flop got caught on the gas pedal. So I immediately look down, she's got on socks and flip-flop, and I'm going, okay, yeah, no wonder, okay.
Socks and flip-flops?
Yeah. So,
is that a fashion statement in Michigan?
Next on Judge Faith.
I think the fact that you are now saying that your husband was in the car with you and witnessed this entire incident is highly questionable based on what you wrote in your statement to this court.
Plaintiff Ardell Hayes says he was stopped at a red light when the defendant slammed into his car. He is suing for damages to his vehicle. But the defendant, Amber Robinson, claims the plaintiff is overcharging her for the damages.
Did you call the police?
We did. We called the police, and we're in Detroit, so we waited and waited. After a while, we just kind of went on having a conversation. She called her insurance company, I called mine. So while we were waiting, we spoke to the insurance companies, and after about an hour, a little longer, the police never showed up. So her insurance company said, well, as long as you guys exchange information, then you really don't have to wait for the cops. She was with her son and her dog.
So you didn't wait for the police, you left?
Excuse me?
I said, in my husband.
Your husband what?
I said, in my husband.
I'm sorry, can you speak up?
I said, in my husband.
Okay, your husband was in the car?
Yeah,
as
he
well?
wasn't driving. I was driving.
No,
you were a passenger
Wait
in
a
the car?
minute. I'm sorry. This guy showed up after we spoke to the insurance company, so I don't know what she's talking about right now.
At the time of the accident, who was in your car when you admit that you hit the back of his car? At the time of the accident, who was in your car?
My dog, my son, and my husband was a passenger.
That's nowhere near true. All right. It's called perjury. You guys know what that is?
Let me hear from you, sir. Well, can you step up, please? Say your name.
Mike. Babington.
Okay, Mike. Tell me what you witnessed.
I was in the passenger, and
Speak up, Mike. Your lying is kind of.
I was on my phone, and
You lied about my
he
socks.
actually was
So we already know you're lying.
It was a yellow light, and we really thought he was just gonna go.
It was a red
So we
light.
were kinda
I was
going
sitting
for it.
still behind other cars.
And then
Stop, sir. Let me hear what he's saying.
we seen him slam his brakes, and then we.
So
went
where
to
were you?
stop.
Let me ask you. Where were you coming from that day? No, I'm
Pond.
asking your husband.
We
Where
went
were
to
you coming from that day?
A pawn shop.
Okay. You know, this is interesting because I want to read to you what you said in your answer in this case. You talk about the entire incident and how you were concerned because you had this accident in the Detroit area and it was just you and your 8-year-old daughter with you, and how you were afraid because you didn't want to be in that area by yourself, and you make no mention of your husband being with you in the car in this accident at all.
It was
So what's going on? What's going on? I mean, that is a significant fact, because if your husband is in the car, that means that he is a witness to this entire incident. You wrote out an entire statement and make no mention of the fact that your husband is in the car with you. The first time I've heard of this is today in court.
Your Honor, honestly, no one ever asked if there was a witness in the car. I said I was concerned for my 8-year-old son.
So you're saying that my clerk who spoke to you about this case got it wrong?
No one ever asked, like, who was in the car. I said I was concerned about my 8-year-old son. I didn't know it mattered who was in the car. I was the one driving.
Was your husband in the trunk? Because he was not in the passenger seat when I was driving.
Here's what you said in your statement. The reason why you say you felt uncomfortable staying there, waiting any longer, is because you were there with your child.
Can I tell you
that to me infers that your husband was not with you, because you felt uncomfortable because you were there with your child in that area.
How, like, it happened. Like, I bumped into him and I called the cops. He didn't even want to call the cops. And I bumped him and I was nervous.
So you leave. Let's get to the rest of the case.
He wanted to leave. I wanted to stay for the police.
I think the fact that you are now saying that your husband was in the car with you and witnessed this entire incident is highly questionable based on what you wrote in your statement to this court. So I don't know if you showed up to court today and you decided you were going to try to make your case better for you by bringing in a witness who is your husband.
I didn't even know him being a witness was anything. I was the one that hit him, so I
You can have a seat, thank you. What happened? So let's get to the damages, because the bottom line is you admit to rear-ending his car. Correct. So the real question here is damages, because you are now disputing the damages and the amount that he says you owe him for the damages.
Your Honor, he was driving pretty recklessly, and he was in a rush for a baseball game.
I was doing my wheel like this.
So he pulled in front of me, and I didn't know what he was doing. I thought he was going to run through the stoplight. I have no damages to my car. I did not bump his car. It's whatever.
But you rear-ended him, and you understand that when you rear-end someone else, there is a presumption under the law that you were in the wrong, because you should. And you say in your statement,
understand, 100%.
Hold on one second. You say in your statement that you were wearing flip-flops, and your flip-flops got caught in the car. So why are you saying now that he was driving recklessly?
And now, Judge Faith rules.
Based on your statement, you've come into this court today and you haven't told anything that sounds close to the truth.
Ma'am, he didn't want to wait for the police. So what I had did was I gave him my insurance number, my phone number, and I explained to him.
Hold on, let's stop right here. Let's stop. Because
I actually have proof that I tried to help him.
What do you mean you tried to help him? You hit his car. That's what you're supposed to do.
No.
He's not a charity case. He just wants the damages paid for his car. I've heard enough. I don't have to hear anything else because I came in here today and I looked at the fact that you didn't wait for the police. You have to wait for the police when you have an accident because of cases like this, when someone says, well, that wasn't the damage that I caused, but you didn't wait for the police to document it. So I came in here today thinking that I was going to perhaps rule one way based on the evidence that you submitted to the court. But because you came in and brought your husband, you say your husband was in the car and he wasn't in the car, you know it, I know it, and the plaintiff knows it, but you came in here today, you thought you were going to bring a witness to try to help your case. My judgment in this case is for the plaintiff, $2,200 paying for the damage to his car.